You know what time it is? It is coloring book haul time. I have a huge coloring book haul for you. Some of the books that you'll see today, I forgot to include them in my last haul. So you will be seeing those as well as books that I bought in October and November. Let's get into it. Up first is Mandala's adult coloring book, a Jade Summer production illustrated by Kristen Thorne. Let's take a peek inside. Here is this coloring book belongs to Paige. I have already colored this using some markers. I bought this book, I think in September or August. I can't remember, but I forgot to include it in my coloring book haul. You know what happened? Quick story. I didn't know what happened to my book until one day somebody said, "Hey, you looking for this?" It was up under the bed. I was supposed to include it in my haul, but somehow it just made its way under the bed. But I am sharing it with you today in November. Let's move on. On the next 2 pages, there are samples of what you see in this book, 12 to be exact. This gives you a pretty good idea of what types of mandalas that they have in this book for you to color. On this page, it has the Jade Summers coloring books are for everyone, acknowledgments, contributors, no AI image policy, legal information. There are 40 illustrations in here, just so you know. Now, this is the first image. I have colored it, but I didn't finish it. As you can see, it's not too involved and too intricate, and it's not too simple. What I find about these illustrations is that they are in the middle of the road. So if you want something that is more intricate, that will take more time, then it's in here. But they don't have a lot of that in here. But they don't have a lot of simple things in here either. So keep that in mind. Let's go ahead and take a look. I colored this with pencil. All right. The paper here is kind of thin, like copy paper. The tooth is not toothing, as they say. It's pretty smooth paper. So going forward, I more than likely will use markers. I just put something up under the page and go for it. Here's something here. It looks kind of in the middle. It's not too intricate, but it's not too simple either. And that's how I like my mandalas. I don't like them to be too involved, okay? But something like this is okay for me. But it might not be okay for you. You may like it a little more simple. This here looks a little more simple to me. Okay. I'm just going to flip through a little bit. I like this. Flowers. I just want to give you an idea of what you can expect in here. I like this one. Pineapples. At first I thought it was pine cones, but then I see the little umbrellas and I know, yeah, these are pineapples. I like how they incorporate things in here like bows and butterflies and strawberries and pineapples. And you see the bird here. And this is kind of simple. So I'm going to flip through pretty quickly. In this book, they have some additional bonus pages. They are not mandalas. They have this page and then this page here, flower page. So they have 2 bonus pages. You have your color chart back here. And here's something here. Their mandalas look different. That's what I like about this book. They're unique. It's just not one type of looking mandala. But yeah, my friend had bought a Jade Summer coloring book and she's just getting started with coloring. This is a little simple here. And so I decided to get a Jade Summer coloring book because I had never bought one before. I like the illustrations. This is the Mandalas coloring book by Jade Summer, illustrated by Kristen Thorne. I bought this book from Walmart. This is called The Super Cute World, and it is a coloring and creativity book by Jane Madej. So I did buy this in September. For some reason, I don't know if I included it. I know that I showed this page, and I might have showed you the book and the author of the book. There are some activity pages in the back. Here it says cut after many cards and fold on the dotted lines. That's something that could be done probably on better paper, cardstock paper. This is pretty good paper, but it's not cardstock. It's not that heavy, but it's not thin either. As you can see, you are loved, life is good. Here's something here. These are the activities in the book. Write your favorite inspirational quote inside of this mandala. You can cut that out. Cut this out. Print it as a sticker. And these are all in the back. These are name tags, like if you're giving somebody a gift of some sort. Garden stuff. This can be used for scrapbooking and crafting. That's what it says here. More stuff here for crafting fun. But also in this book, there are pages that you can color. As you can see here. I like this book, but I'm not too fond of all of this little swirly, whirly stuff, you know. It's just not my cup of tea, like all this little stuff inside of here. But I actually do like the book, so that's why I bought it. Lately, I've been trying to buy books from within inside of a store, or if I've seen the flip through and I like what I see, then I will go ahead and get it. But if I don't like it, I will not buy it. I've been tempted to buy things because it's the hot thing, but I'm no longer doing that anymore. I like this right here. Like that too. The next coloring book that I have is one that I love. I love this coloring book. This is the Cute Chibi Creature Coloring Book, illustrated by Phoebe M. I have showed you this book before, but I have showed the pages that I have completed. I like this book for using my alcohol markers, and I think that the illustrations in here are so cute. I've colored a few pages in here. Now let's take a look. Paper is it's thin, but it's not too thin, but it's not too thick either. It's okay. It's still a smooth type of paper, not really the best for colored pencils. Let's check out these cute chibi illustrations. I bought this from Michael's. I see the little blue dot on the back. That is cute. Look at that. This book is loaded with cuteness. I just love this book. Oh, wow. Look at that. That is too cute. Everything in here I just adore. Oh, wow. Let me see that. Oh, wow. That is cute. That's a good Christmas page or holiday page. Really cute. All right. Oh, my goodness. You see, this book is loaded with so much cuteness and fun. Fun. This is the Cute Chibi Creature Coloring Book, illustrated by Phoebe I.M. Up next, I have a coloring book from ColorIt. If you don't know, I am the person who likes to collect coloring books from certain companies, and the ColorIt company is one of those companies. This is the Route 66 or Route 66. It says greetings from Route 66. And this has 50 original hand-drawn designs. This coloring book is illustrated by Hasbi Mubarak and edited by Eliza Callahan. As you can see, they have a little picture, a very small picture of each of the illustrations that is in this book, and they have a name of that particular page. Let's zoom in to get a closer look at this. As you can see, the first page is map of Route 66, and it pretty much has a little bit of a, you can see the little illustration. If you got good eyesight, you can see it pretty good. The next one is Buckingham Fountain, but there are different sights to see along Route 66, and that's what Mubarak has captured in this book. First of all, we have this. This is our blotting page. Tear it off and put it behind whatever you're coloring. This book belongs to. This is a bridge here. And this is the map of Route 66. Let's take a look at it right quick because I am curious. All right. It says greetings from Route 66 or Route 66. So as you're traveling along Route 66, there are some sights to see. And that is what Mubarak, the illustrator, has captured in this book. As you can see, California, Los Angeles, Arizona, New York, Las Vegas, going on to Oklahoma, Kansas, Missouri, Illinois, and you start here. I started at the finish line. Anyway, it says start here. And that's in Illinois, I guess. And you're just coming all the way across to California. Most of these pages are horizontal. So I need to keep it horizontal. So bear with me. And this paper is thick. It does have a little bit of texture, but not a lot. Not a lot. So if you want to use water paint or any type of wet medium, you can do that with this paper. Actually, in the front of the book, they tell you what the name of each of these pictures or illustrations are. This is the Historical Museum in Joliet area. I wish they would either keep it horizontal or vertical. They getting on my nerves now. Welcome Center. Pure maple syrup grove. This is the bridge that we saw in the beginning on the page this book belongs to. That's the Ark, in St. Louis. So it's a variety of things to color in here. From buildings to bridges to grass and gardens to houses. This is looks rocky there. Okay. You have trees. So you have a variety of different things to color, which I like. Some more rocky stuff makes me think of Arizona. Balloons. So as you can see, there's quite a bit of variety of illustrations to color in this book. I like it. I really do. So this is Route 66, a ColorIt coloring book illustrated by Hasbi Mubarak. I guess that's how you say his name. And this is that one. Up next, I have a Million Mermaids by Lulu Mayo. And I like this book. I think it is too cute. I have colored a page in here, I think. I'm not really sure. But you're getting a glimpse of what's in here. I think it's pretty cute. I'm probably going to break this book down I've been learning how to take the spine off and put my little disc in there, and I'll probably do this book like that as well. I did a buddy color with Faith Elizabeth. I did that one. But this is A Million Little Mermaids by Lulu Mayo. That's cute. The next book that I have is Witch's Cottage by Hannah Calzone. I believe I bought this in October for Halloween. Here we go. I think a lot of you are familiar with this book here. The paper is pretty good, but this is more of a, I would say, Halloween type of book. I didn't get an opportunity to color in here, but I still think that there are some things that I will color even if it's not Halloween, as you can see. I like the illustrations in here. I think I watched someone's video who had colored something from this book, and I liked the illustration that she colored. That's why I bought this book here. I bought this book from Amazon. This is a full page spread. This is my first Hannah Carzone book, and it happens to be The Witch's Cottage. I want to color that. It's a whale. The Hannah Carzone book, Witch's Cottage. I like the cover. It looks nice, the hardback and everything, very nice. The next book that I have is Mythographic Color and Discover Voyage by Joseph Catambank. And I actually do like this book. I like the illustrations in here. And I like that it's perforated. You can tear out the pages if you like. And you also don't have anything behind on the other side of the page, which makes it cool because if you want to frame this, you can do that. And the paper is smooth, but it's not overly smooth. I do like the illustrations in here. I'm going to zoom in just a tad so you can see. I like these illustrations. You know, this is the person coming out of the hole, but then somebody's gone into it. The illustrator has a very creative mind because when I really just sat and looked at the illustration and looked through the book, I was amazed because it's so creative, so thinking outside of the box type of art. I like everything in here, and I'm going to try to color it if I get the courage to do it. I'm glad that the pages are perforated because I can take them out and I can frame them or bound them, however I want to do it. Yeah, so this is Mythographic Voyage by Joseph Catabang. Up next, I have a coloring book that I bought from Amazon. This is by Colorya, Wonderful Little World. Let's take a look inside. This is the This Book Belongs to page. I have started coloring it just a little bit. I used alcohol markers. I was just playing around on this page just to see how well alcohol markers would work on this paper. As you can see, this paper is thick, very thick cardstock paper, but the texture is smooth. So you know what that means. That means that I will more than likely use alcohol markers and watercolor and other stuff, but not so much colored pencils, okay? But yeah, this is it. The paper is thick. I think this paper is thicker than the ColorIt paper that is in their coloring books. This bad boy is thick and it's heavy. Weight is heavy. So here we have, I think this is more or less a blotting page. You can cut that out. One thing I don't like about this is that it's not perforated up here. You have to kind of tear it out, and that's fine because you can trim that end yourself if you want to put it in a frame or something. So let's take a look. All right, this is the first page, and I think this is so cute. Let me zoom out so you can get the full, yeah, there we go. You can get the full scope of what this illustration looks like. All right, that's cute. I think everything in this book I like. I think it is so cute. And have you ever had a coloring book and you're like, ooh, I want to color everything in there? That's how I feel about this. This cardstock paper is something thick. I'm thinking I have 2 pages, but it's only one. This is the Wonderful Little World. Here is another ColorIt coloring book. I bought this book when I bought the coloring pencils from ColorIt, Lost in Translation. This is 50 original hand-drawn designs. And as you know, I am a collector of ColorIt coloring books. Whenever they come out with something new that I think I would like, I try to get it. And this is one of those books, I believe. Let's take a look inside. This is by Turbot Bukowski, edited by Eliza Callahan. And again, they have what you will see on every page. What I like about this is that they have illustrations from different countries. Okay. You have some from Asia, China, Thailand, Japan, India, Indonesia, Qatar, and some other countries in Asia. And then we have some illustrations from Africa, Europe. Let me zoom out so you can see it. Okay. Then there are some illustrations from North America, Australia, South America. I am going to enjoy coloring this because there are different illustrations from different countries. Let's take a look at it. We have our blotting page here, and we have our This Book Belongs To page. And this is probably in Asia because Asia is the first group of illustrations that they had listed at the top. Let's take a quick look at it. So you have a variety of illustrations to color, from buildings to scenery where you have the jungle, grass, water inside of buildings, animals. So you just have a variety of things that you can color. Being lost in translation. And this is a spiral bound. I forgot to say that, but these pages are perforated so you can tear them out without having to mess up anything or needing to cut it out. Like in the Colorya, the pages are not perforated at the top. You just have to try to tear it out and cut off the fringes yourself. Okay, that is it. And this is Lost in Translation from ColorIt, illustrated by Bukowski. Up next, I have the Johanna Basford's Small Victories, a coloring book of little wins and miniature masterpieces. If you watch coloring videos, then you probably have seen this floating around out here on YouTube. A lot of people have been doing flip throughs of this book as well as coloring pages in here. I haven't done that yet. Just so you know, this book is not a big book. Some people thought it was a bigger book, and when they got the book, they were a little bit disappointed. And how I know this is that I read the reviews over on Amazon. But anyway, this is a small book. It's not big. So if you're looking for it to be big, it is not. It might look big on camera because what we do is we do this. We zoom in, which makes it look big so you can actually see it. But I'm zoomed all the way out, and this is how it looks, okay? But I am going to zoom in so you can see. This is how it looks on the front here. She has some things for you to color. As you can see, I started coloring here, but I'm not a fan of coloring itty bitty things. And one thing about the paper, I'm going to say this and I'm not afraid to say it. The paper is not the best for colored pencils, but she recommends that you use colored pencils. And the reason she recommends you use colored pencils is because of this. You see that I use markers here. I kind of got a little bit of ghosting on this page. And I think that's the only reason why she tells you to use colored pencils. But this is not color pencil friendly paper. So these are the pages that I have colored so far. All right. This one. And you probably can't even see that, right? Let me zoom in because it is small. All right. And if you've seen my colored pencil video, you've seen this one anyway, up close and personal. Now, the little trucks I colored with some markers. I didn't have time to be doing no colored pencils. Yep, this is colored pencils. This is when I realized that the colored pencils that I had that I was using was not going to work here. So this is when I came back over here and I said, well, let me experiment and see which color pencils actually work the best. And I discovered which ones do. So this is one, and then I finished this one up. I like the illustrations. They're just tiny, tiny. The only gripe I have about this book is that I wish it was bigger. It could be bigger and still, she can call it Small Victories and still have these kind of be small, but not too small, but small enough for us to know that these were meant to be small. Now let's take a quick look in here. I know you've probably already seen these illustrations before, so I'm going to go through pretty fast. I do like the illustrations again, might I add. But see, I'm really not a fan of coloring individual things like this and that they're small, and yeah, I'm not a fan of that in any book. But I like the little boats. I like it. I wish it was just a little bit more blowed out a little bit. Like this. This is kind of big. Let me stop talking so you can take a look at what's in here right quick. This is just too much and too small. I would have liked to see maybe 3 of these. put 3 of them on here and make them bigger. That would have been cool, but that's just too much to me. I probably more than likely wouldn't even color that. That's just me. Everybody's different. I do like these little houses, the way she did that. Her art is very neat. I think that is cute right there. I like that too. The end. Color palette, page, test page, and she has a list of all her books here. And that is Miss Johanna Basford's Small Victories. Up next, I have a coloring book from Creative Haven. I am a collector, a big collector of the Creative Haven coloring books, just so you know. All right. So this is one of the newest ones that has come out, and this is by Teresa Goodrich. This is Afternoon Tea. Now, I only buy books from Creative Haven if I am interested in them and if I like the illustrations. And I am a tea lover, so this is right up my alley. Let's take a look inside. There are some flip throughs of this book on YouTube. The reason why I bought this book is because I saw someone else do a flip through of it and I fell in love with the illustrations. So this is one of the illustrations that is in here, and probably this one is also in here as well. All right. So we have an afternoon tea coloring book, and this is Teresa Goodrich. There are 31 illustrations in here. Let's take a quick look at them. There's always time for tea. I know that's right. I like this. I really love this book. The pages, of course, are perforated, and that is the case with all of the Creative Havens books that they have on the market. Happiness is a cup of tea. That's right. Okay. I think this book is very cute. That is one reason why I bought it. And plus, it helps to be a tea lover. Yeah, it helps to be a tea lover. But if I had seen the book, like the flip through, and I did not like the illustrations, I would not have bought it. I'm learning not to buy stuff because it's new and out. Just because it comes out doesn't mean that I have to buy it. I have to like the illustrations. They have to vibe with me. If they don't vibe with me, I can't get down with it. I can't buy it. Because I have made some mistakes in my journey buying books that everybody else was raving about, and then I get the book and I'm like, oh, I can't color in this. I'm gonna have to give this away. And that's what I'm actually doing now with some of my books. That's cute. Cute, cute, cute. Keep calm and drink tea. I have a cup that says that. Keep calm and drink tea. Very cute. Get ready to party. All right. So this is the Creative Haven Afternoon Tea by Teresa Goodrich. Up next, I have another Creative Haven coloring book, and it is a Christmas book. It says Home for the Holidays. It's also by Teresa Goodrich. Let's take a look in here. This has how many pages? 31 illustrations. I think that's the standard thing to have in the Creative Haven books. I like this book, but I find that it seemed to be a little too busy for me. But I'm going to try it anyway. at some point in time because I do want to color some things for the holidays from this book. And actually, I like the illustrations in here. So I'm going to try my best to color some things. Like that's really busy to me. But I'm sure it would be very nice once it's colored. It's not Christmas without cookies. Yes, I know that's right. For Santa, his cookies. Looks like some carrots. I guess the carrots are for who? The deer, the reindeer. I like this one. I'll probably color this page here. Now I've been looking through here trying to decide what I want to color. I think I want to color that one too. But so busy, so busy. The paper. Oh man. The paper here is just okay. It's kind of like copy paper, but there is a little bit of tooth to the paper, so colored pencils would be okay on this paper. It's smooth, but it's not smooth, smooth. I can feel just a tinge of texture in this paper. That's cute. I like that one. That's cute too. Very cute. A little busy, a little busy. There is no place like home for the holidays. I like this one. It's cute. You have your wreath here. I'm thinking about coloring that one too. Not sure yet. This is cute. And then we have Christmas somewhere else where you have the sun is shining. It's warm. They're on the beach somewhere. Yeah. Then this one here with them out singing carols, I believe. Fireplace. I like this one. I like all of these illustrations. I hope I can color what I want to color in here. That is it. This is Teresa Goodridge's Home for the Holidays coloring book from Creative Haven. Up next is my last Creative Haven coloring book. I bought this from Hobby Lobby. I told you I am a collector of Creative Haven books. If I like the book, I might buy it. So when I went into Hobby Lobby, I was able to look through this book and I made the decision to buy this book. Let's take a look. This is by Jessica Mazurkiewicz. It's by Jessica, okay? And this is Gorgeous Gardens. And I do like this book. It doesn't have a lot of black marks in here, as I say, like black lines to tell you where you need to shade it and all that. It's just more of a clean illustration, which I prefer more so than seeing a whole lot of, I guess, shading and lines on an illustration. So let's take a look right quick. As I said, these are Gorgeous Gardens. There are 31 pages in here. Let me make sure. Yep, 31 pages of glorious garden illustrations. Let's take a look. We have this one here. Have some little steps going up into the garden there. Birdhouses with the garden. I like this book. When I was in Hobby Lobby, I took a look at it and I really looked at it and I said, do I really like this? Will I color in this book? And the answer was a definite yes. You see, I'm sharing it with you. And I like stuff like this, gardening anyway, so it's right up my alley. What I'm learning is to buy things that I specifically like, not something that everybody else likes and I just want to buy it because they're raving about it. I'm learning not to do that because I've gotten into trouble buying stuff that everybody else is talking about. But, you live and you learn through trial and error. That's what this journey of coloring is all about, huh? You got your rosemary, sage, mint. This is an herb garden here. It's your lemon that looks like a tomato, some parsley. That's what it looks like to me. Okay. So I like this book. I look forward to coloring in this book. I can see myself coloring every page. That's right. And the paper again, it's not copy paper, but it's probably a notch down. Well, a notch up. But it's still smooth. It has a little tiny bit of texture. But I think markers would work fine on here. If you want to use markers or gel pens or whatever, that is it. This is one of the illustrations in the book. This is the Creative Havens Gorgeous Gardens by Miss Jessica. Up next, I have R.J. Hampson's Moonlight Mischief. You will see some more coloring books coming up from him because I like his illustrations and I like collecting his work. So here is one of the coloring books that I have, Moonlight Mischief. As you see, this is the page that says this book belongs to. It looks more like a mandala to me, but it is different, unique. Has a pineapple up top and the key here to unlock so we can go in here and create some moonlit mischief. On this page, he tells you what this coloring book is all about. He says, as the moon rises and casts its ethereal light across the characters captured in the pages of this book, it reveals a night alive with mischief. Watch the shadows as you tiptoe through this moonlit collection of pen and ink illustrations, all waiting to be brought to life through color. There are 25 hand-drawn illustrations in here for you to color, and he has a second part of the book that contains duplicates of those illustrations with a little bit of subtle changes of the background, okay? On this side of the page, he tells you about how to use this book. He specifically says that this book is suited for pencils or markers. Wet mediums should be used sparingly. Slide a card or sheet of paper behind the illustration you are coloring to avoid marker bleed through. Okay? So let's take a quick look. Here it says Dragon in the Mist. On the left side of the page, he usually tells you the name of that particular illustration. So this one is Dragon in the Mist, and you can see the dragon looks like he's circling around this castle here, or this little house. That's a tree house, I think. Okay. So let's take a quick flip through here. Check this out. His illustrations are so unique, fun, and I just like getting in here and coloring his illustrations. It helps you to see things in a different light. I can use my imagination with the colors to my delight. Okay, so now it says the second set of pages begin here. And really they're the same pages with the black background. I'm not going to show you all of these, but this is what we just saw. So if you want to have the different background, then you can come and color the other set that he has included in the book. Okay. So this is R.J. Hampson's Moonlit Mischief. The next book that I have from R.J. Hampson is the Christmas Tiny Homes. I decided to buy this book after I purchased some of his Christmas pages. This is a coloring book, plus he has a bonus 3D Village color and build. Let's check it out. The very first page has This Book Belongs To, and you have some items to color on this page. Also here he says, enjoy visiting a charming and captivating world of Christmas. Tiny homes. All the delightful dwellings and quirky residents included in this collection of pen and ink illustrations are waiting to be brought to life through color. This book is best suited for color pencils or markers. Wet mediums should be used sparingly. So it says bonus color and build Christmas village. Build your own Christmas village. Now the thing about this is that this paper is on the flimsy side. So I guess if you wanted to really color this and build your own Christmas village, you could do it by copying this on better quality paper. Okay. And then cutting out and coloring and everything. But he gives you everything that will be in the Christmas chapel here. He has everything that here that is in this bonus package here in the back. So, and he tells you how to do it and how to fold and where to do all that. Again, I would probably, if I did this, I would use better paper. Yeah, I would. So that's what this is here, back here. Okay. Oh, he does give you the instructions on how to put it all together here in the back. Assembly instructions. Bonus color and build. How to build your Christmas village. Okay. So he didn't leave you out to dry. I really don't care for the 3D village color and build. Maybe one day I could do that with my daughter, but I like the illustrations here. So this is the R.J. Hampson's Christmas Tiny Homes coloring book. The next R.J. Hampson book I have is a new one for me. This is the Serendipity coloring book. I want to do a flip through on this, so I'm not going to flip through this all the way because I'm going to do a video on this. But I got this in the hardback and I really wanted to see how the paper is in his hardback books, because the paper in the regular books, they're just, they're okay, but they're not the best. So he says that this is a higher weight and we're going to see. Okay. So this is the hardback book, hardcover. And it has here, this book belongs to, and he has Serendipity. I think it's only 25 pages in this book. He tells you that this book is best suited for color pencils or markers. Okay, so this is not a heavy paper. Now, I can detect that the weight of the paper is a little heavier than in his other coloring books that are not bound, hard copy bound. This is okay, but it's not what I was expecting. I'm just going to keep it real. But it's better than what's in the regular coloring books. So this is Serendipity, a moving house. I'm not going to go through here too much. There are some flip throughs of this coloring book, but I plan to do a flip through of this coloring book myself. So, but this is one of them that I have. He doesn't have the extra pages in here like he does in the regular coloring books that are not hardbound or hardcover. He has all of his coloring books listed in the back or pictured in the back here. So that's that. As I stated, I will be doing a flip through of this coloring book soon. So, stay tuned for that if you're interested in this. Up next, I have a coloring book from Bobbie Goods. This is the Fall 2022 volume. I have colored a page in here. I used alcohol markers. The paper in this book is awesome. Works well for alcohol markers. I have not tried it with colored pencils, so I can't speak to that. But the paper is heavy, it's thick. It has a little bit, just a little bit of texture to it. The pages are perforated so you can tear them out. Let's take a peek inside this book very quickly. As you can see, most people that I see using this book or coloring in Bobbie Goods, they use markers. I have not tried colored pencils in here, and I'm skipping around because I'm trying to get through because I do have another Bobbie Goods book to show you. But these are really cute illustrations here. So that is my Bobbie Goods coloring book for fall 2022. Up next, I have a coloring book from Bobbie Goods. This is volume 6, 2023. Let's take a peek inside. On this inner portion of the cover, I decided to play around with my alcohol markers. I wanted to see if they would actually stick to the paper, and they did. Here I colored the intro page with alcohol markers. Again, the paper works exceptionally well for alcohol markers. I don't know how well it works for colored pencils because I have not tried them, but I will. The paper is good quality paper. It just doesn't feel like it has a lot of texture, but I feel and I detect a little bit of texture. So I think that the coloring pencils probably will be okay, but don't quote me on that because I haven't tried them yet. This is another page that I colored using alcohol markers. This is the coloring checklist. Let's take a look at some of these pages in here. I'm just going to flip through here fairly quickly so that you can get an idea of what's in this book. And I did skip some pages, so just so you know. All right. So this is the Bobbie Goods coloring book. Up next, I have a coloring book that says Coloring with Coco. This is the Holiday Edition, Volume 2. The very first page says this book belongs to, and it has some nice little illustrations to color here, which I think is pretty cute. The paper is nice. I can get away with using alcohol markers as well as colored pencils. The paper has some texture and it's thick. So here is one of the illustrations. That's cute. I'm going to flip through here fairly quickly. The illustrations are very nice. I like them. Up next, I have another coloring book from Coloring with Coco, Volume 5. I love sunflowers and I like that they are on the cover. Let's take a peek inside. The first page says this coloring book belongs to, and she has some flowers here that we can color. Her first page is her cover page. How cool is that? I think it's very cool. Let's take a quick peek at these pages. I know I'm going kind of fast. The paper is good, like I said in the other one. I can get away with using markers as well as colored pencils because I feel some texture here. Her paper is pretty good. One of the things that I noticed in this coloring book, which is not in the previous coloring book that I showed you, is that in the back of the book she has many illustrations of her big illustrations, which I think is pretty cool because I could come over here and color this without having to color that page. But it also lets you know, it gives you an idea what's in the book on a smaller scale. which I think is a good thing that she did. And she has swatches. So this is a page here that you can use as a swatch page. Okay. And that is Miss Coloring with Coco, Volume 5. Up next, I have a book from Castle Arts. This is the Merry Christmas Coloring Activity Book. It is a compendium of coloring sheets, Christmas cards, and a seasonal calendar, specifically curated by our resident artist, which is the Castle Arts resident artist. Let's check it out. On the left-hand side of this book, it says this book belongs to, and it talks about this book in more detail. It tells you what's in here. Here it tells you about the suitable media, quality paper, framing your art, and it says happy coloring. So it tells you more information about all that stuff. And I'm not going to read that, but do know that it's in here. The next page, they have all of the media that they recommend for this book. And they have their colored pencils, their gold colored pencils, pastel pencils, metallic, watercolor, watercolor and gouache paints, watercolor brush pens, gel pens. Okay, so that's what they recommend here. Now over here, they have little cards that you can follow when you're coloring. So if you need like a color palette or whatever, they have it here. They got you. They got you, boo. You can cut this out here and have it when you are coloring a specific page. And they have that for everything that they have in here. So if I want to color something, I can, let's say I want to color this. Well, I have something to kind of go by when I'm coloring it. I'm not just going in the dark, going in blind, so to speak. Then they have the calendar portion. They have that so you can kind of get an idea how to color that as well. So first of all, what they have in here is the 12 days of Christmas. And they have illustrations with the 12 days of Christmas. They have a partridge in a pear tree, 2 turtle doves, and so forth and so on. Okay. And I'm just skipping through 9 ladies dancing, 10 lords a leaping. Okay. And then the next thing, let me get to the 12. 11 pipers piping, 12 drummers drumming. But you can see that they have how to color these here. Okay. The next part of this book are Christmas cards. So after the 12 days of Christmas, they have Christmas cards that you can actually color and send off to people if you want to. The paper is very good. It has some texture as well as being thick. So I like that. And they have a few cards in here for you. Quite a few, I think. And I would think that if there's not enough cards in here for you, you can copy it off on better paper and do what you have to do. All right. And in the back, it has the calendar here. Let's see. We have January, which is winter. They have something for you to color, and they have the numbers of the days in the month underneath here, underneath the actual illustration. And they have that for all of the 12 months. So you get a lot of stuff in this book. You get the 12 days of Christmas, you get the cards, and you get the calendar. That is the Merry Christmas Coloring Activity book from Castle Arts. Up next, I have the Wonky Christmas Doodles. I saw somebody with this on Instagram, I think, and I had to have it because I saw some of the pages. I thought that the pages were cute. I ordered this from Amazon. This is by Christy Durham. Okay. And I think what she did is she included some blank pages. And so I tore out those pages. She says, tear out one of these blank pages and place it behind your coloring page when you're worried your markers will bleed through. So she provides 2 extra sheets of paper that she tells you to tear out so that you can put behind your illustration, which is nice, of course. So I have only done this, and this is with colored pencils. This paper is not as slick. It has some texture to it, but it's still thin. It has a little texture, which means I can use some colored pencil, but it's not like really, really smooth either. So I like that. So I have my 2 sheets of paper. Let's take a look through here very quickly. This is a Christmas wonky doodling book. So I'm going to go through here fairly quickly so you can get an idea of what's in here. I probably more than likely will use alcohol markers because I tend to use alcohol markers for illustrations that look like this. And then I go in with some colored pencils afterwards to spruce it up. These are cute illustrations. I like them. That is why I bought this book, because I saw something that someone was coloring in this book and I liked what I saw. These are very cute. Just in time for Christmas. All right. So of course, I didn't show you all of the pages, but I think you got the gist of what's in this book. I ordered this from Amazon. If I didn't mention that, then you know I got it from Amazon. Up next, I have Christmas Color by Number. I bought this book from Amazon, and the author is Jane Miller. Let's check it out. First of all, the paper is your typical Amazon paper. It's pretty thin and it's smooth. So I think I can get away with using markers, huh? But of course, put a slip of paper behind it so that marker doesn't bleed through. Another thing that you need to know is that there is no visible color palette here for you to reference. Instead, what the illustrator does is she has the name of the color written down, but she has boxes for you to swatch your own colors for the illustration, which is not bad, because if I'm using a different medium, then I'm okay. I can just swatch it there to get the colors I want it to be. She leaves it up to you, but she tells you the colors, okay? This is the first illustration. What I notice about these illustrations is that, number one, the numbers are smaller than I'm used to seeing. And number two, the line art is not overly black. It is kind of like a dark gray, but it's not light at all. But it's not black, just in case you were wondering about that. Now, let's take a look at the pages. I'm not going to show you every page, but I want you to see that some of these pages are simple, while some of them are somewhat intricate. So I think the pages in this book are in the middle of the road when it comes to how hard or involved each page is with the numbers. So this is the last page here. See, this is somewhat simple. It's not that intricate, but there are some that are intricate. And you will see them coming up because I will point them out to you. At least they're intricate to me. This is kind of intricate to me. This one is too, because all of the different colors on the boxes. That one is somewhat intricate because of the leaves and stuff. That one, right here. But yeah, I think it's just in the middle of the road. Some of the pages are intricate, and then some of them are simple, easy to complete. And I think there's a good balance, a good mix. That dog looks familiar to me. I've seen you somewhere, and I know where I've seen you, but I'm not going to say. And that is it. This is the Christmas Color by Number by Jane Miller. Up next, I have 50 Christmas Patterns Color by Number by Sachin Sachdeva. This is a new release. When I received the email about the new release, I checked it out and I decided to buy it. But I wasn't expecting it to be like a mandala type of book. But the key word here is patterns. Okay, patterns. But it's not a bad coloring book. I actually like it. So when I open it up first, here is a little reef that I can color, and then turn the page, and I have this page that says this book belongs to, and there is a pattern page to color. You don't have to worry about numbers here. You can color it any color you want to. The next page is this one. Now, most of these, if not all of these pages, remind me of mandalas. They have patterns that are related to Christmas. We have our color palette over here, but on the back of this book is the color palette. And he keeps his color palette pretty much the same. Let's take a look at the illustrations, but before I do that, this paper is your typical Amazon paper. It's not bad, but it's not the best. I will more than likely use markers in these books and simply put something behind the page that I'm coloring. That's what I normally do in his books. I'm okay with the paper being the way it is. I like his illustrations. So let's get started here. The first thing that I see here, we have wreaths and we have Christmas trees and gifts. So they are all in a pattern. This book reminds me of a mandala. Mandala, that's right. Let me start in the back here. You know, you have your color charts that you can use, whatever different medium you're using. You can swatch it in the back of the book, which I like here. And he also has a list or a collection of all of his books. He has a lot of them. Now, let's get into this coloring book. Now, I'm not going to show you all of the pages, but I will flip through so that you can get a gist of what is in this book. Snowmen. This is a straight up mandala patterns. If you like coloring patterns, then you might like this book. I like to do color by numbers when I do not want to think about the colors that I need to select for a coloring page. These patterns are intricate. It's a lot. Some of these pages are busy, 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 busy. Look at that. Woo! Those are some patterns right there. This is Sachin Sachdeva's latest book, 50 Christmas Patterns, Color by Number. Up next is the last book in my coloring book haul, and it is Mandala Color by Numbers by David Woodruff. I bought this coloring book from Joann's Fabrics. It was 20% off. Let's check it out. You know I like coloring mandalas, so I thought this would be a neat purchase to buy. On the inner cover is all of the mandalas, and it shows you how they're supposed to look. Likewise, in the back of the book are all of the other mandalas, and the color key is in the back as well. Let's take a quick flip. Now the paper is thin. It's not weighty, but it's not bad. This page here is color by number. This page here is color by number. There's an introduction here. It has 60 mandalas in this book. They're all color by number. Let's take a look at them right quick. Some of these are intricate, but I'm glad it's color by number. Look at that. Oh my goodness. A lot of them are intricate. That's fish here. That's different. But I'm not going to show you every page. I just want you to get an idea of what's in here. Look at this. That is a bird. Okay. This is an intricate mandala. That's a horse. Wow. Different types of mandalas. All right. The paper can stand to be better, but I think it would be okay with colored pencils too. It's still smooth, got a little texture to it. Oh, look at that. Looks like a little angel of some sort. Well, butterfly woman. Her wings look like a butterfly. This is the Color by Number Mandala by David Woodruff. Now that you've seen all of the books that I bought, some in September, October, and in November, let me know if you own some of these books. Drop that in the comment section below. Thank you so much for watching, and until next time, keep coloring. Bye.